Alright, good evening here, folks. How y'all doing? Well, I tell you what, we've got a good update for you real quick. I'm going to show you the gameplay that I just did. You're going to see the gameplay there um, where I hit well over 1 million, but constantly was hitting 6, 7, 8, 900, you know, K, million damage with this build. Now, there's a couple ways. First off, I want to go about telling you about this build, and let's talk about the specialist. First off, there's a couple ways you can do this. I am using the sharpshooter specialist for one reason. I like the spotter drone. I have found that it stays up the longest, it hits more enemies, and it stays around. Now, it's personal preference. It really is. If you don't want to use the spotter drone, the other option is go to tactician and use the rail. Now, you're limited when using the laser pointer to certain guns. AR style guns mostly, and maybe some uh, marksman rifles and whatnot. You can do it. So to me, I am using the sharpshooter due to the being able to use the spotter build. Let's go over here somewhere where be up against the wall. Let's show the build off for you. Spotter. I'm using a spotter drone with the sharpshooter. I do have a carbine 7 now. I'm going to show a couple ways that you can change this build if you don't have these pieces yet. I've been farming for the last day or so now. As you can see, I've got 101 base damage, but that will go up. Saw rifle damage, headshot, target's out of cover, love it. And I put the flat line on it because this is all synergy around flatline. Flatline amplifies weapon damage by 15 to pulse enemies. After 3 kills, amplifies or applies the pulse to the next enemy you hit. Now, there is the named AK that, I can find it, that is actually very, very good, which has perfect spotter on it, or perfect flatline, excuse me, on it, which is 20%. And after 2 kills, it applies that. So, uh, not bad. You can see it's there. The problem is you lose a lot of RPMs. I have found that the 790 is a good sweet spot for what I want, and so forth. Now, with me running the spotter one, I can run any AR I want. I could go with my FAMAS here, and I might try that just to see what it does. I do have one with the flat line on it because it's going to amplify it no matter what. So right now I used the carbine 7. My second one I do have the named LMG, which is there. I do like that RPM that they did on it. This one's not bad. You can still use it. It does have perfect flat line on it. Again, you can use it while you're impulsed, and you definitely got that 235 mag with this thing. So as far as mods goes on here, uh, crit chance, and I put a crit damage, and then the 20 rounds. So pretty self-explanatory as far as the pistol goes, just normal. Now, here's where you can change this thing up just a little bit. You could either go, this is the new named piece. Now, I'm going to tell you what, I was kind of on the fence with it when I first tried it. I was using my Coyotes mask, which is a valuable option also. Or, and then, well, let me explain this first before we get into the options of what you can use if you don't have this mask yet. And if you just play the season, you're going to eventually get this mask. Everybody will. So just play the season. You're going to get it. It's a no-brainer. It's just like the Coyotes. Everybody's going to get it. But it comes with armor. I'm not sure if these attributes flip, but mine came with incoming and armor regen. I'm going to say that these stats are pretty much set. I did bring that one up and whatnot. I put a crit damage mod. Now, this here is kind of unique talent. It's almost like the flip of what vigilance is. Vigilance, you take damage, you lose the weapon damage. This one, you take damage, you gain it. So it's kind of a flip. Taking damage builds stacks to a cap of 30. Each stack gains 1% weapon damage. Taking damage at max stat triggers a purge, removing all stacks and status effects, and then dropping a healing cloud, which restores 5% of max armor for 10 seconds to all allies in the cloud. So kind of huge survivability there, but 30% weapon damage is cool while you're taking damage. Now this does apply to taking damage to your shield, and I wanted to see if that actually worked. Was it just damage that you took getting hit, or was it anything? And it does apply to your shield. Now, if you do not have this yet, and if you have the Coyote's mask, use the Coyote's mask. If you don't have the Coyote's mask, get a Heartbreaker mask. Make sure it has crit damage on it. Okay. Um, there really is no other options. You either have this one, Coyotes, or a Heartbreaker mask, and then you'll be set. As far as the Heartbreaker set goes, um, let's look at this. I am using a backpack, gloves, holster, and knee pads. On this, I do have, and I just got this piece, that's why it's not optimized yet, but it will be. I rolled weapon damage. These pieces come with armor, no matter what. So you got to get that roll there that you want. So I wanted crit damage or crit chance. I really wanted crit damage. So I rolled weapon damage. I got the crit damage. I put a crit damage mod. This right here is kind of neat because the four piece. Excuse me, I can't talk. Blah. The four piece is kind of unique. You're getting 15% more assault, 15% LMG. Love that, man. It's awesome. Plus 15% weapon handling, which applies to like reload speed and all that. Headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds. Weapon hits on pulse enemies adds a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% damage to pulsed enemies, up to a max of 50 stacks. Folks, do you realize that's 50% weapon or 50% damage to people? Now, when it says damage to pulse enemies, I have not done extensive tests on whether it's just weapon or it's all damage or it's multiplicative or anything like that. So 2 stacks are lost each second, which is not bad. So again, weapon damage, crit damage, crit chance. Now with the backpack, you do, here's kind of cool, increases the total bonus armor gain per stack of Heartstopper from 1 to 2%. So I'm getting a little more survivability by using the backpack. I like the backpack, and I'll tell you why I'm not. I could swap. You could swap the mask. If you don't have any of the other ones and you have to run a Heartbreaker mask, then run whatever backpack you have at the time. So, or you could swap one of these other pieces. As far as the gloves goes, weapon damage, crit chance. Knee pads, weapon damage, crit chance. Holster, weapon damage, crit chance. Now, the piece that I'm going to say that you pretty much need, the Heartbreaker set I like. So right now with the flatline, we're getting 15% weapon damage. We're getting, when this thing is stacked up, 50% damage. And with the Heartbreaker, we're getting 15% more damage, plus, excuse me, 50% here, 30% there. I mean, we're getting a whole lot of damage. Whole lot of damage on all this. The chest piece. Now, I'm still farming for a chest piece. What I would like to have is a chest piece that has 2 reds here so that I could pull this off. But I'll be honest with you, I'm already hitting for so much, and at 1.1 million armor, I kind of like the survivability I got because these guys are hitting harder. They are hitting, whether they want to say it or not, they're hitting a little bit harder than normal. This piece right here is the UG piece. It has 5% total armor. It has an armor slot. I rolled crit damage on it. It came with crit chance, so that's what I wanted. I had to roll the damage on it. I'm not sure if you can get one with 2 reds. I've been farming to see. and I put a crit chance mod. So this right here, but it has perfect spotter. Increases total weapon and skill damage by 20% to pulse enemies. That's another 20% on top of flatline. That's 35%. Folks, with flatlining this, it's a no-brainer. You can forget about glass cannon. And I'm a very big advocate of glass cannon. But with this right here alone now, just with this chest piece alone with 20%, even if I didn't have flatline, um, let's say I ran in sync or something, which might be another valuable option, but even if I didn't, that's still 20%. I'm only 5 off of what uh, I'm only 5% off what the base glass cannon does without the hit that I take from it. So there. Now spotter, obviously as far as drone, I am using the spotter drone. It comes back every 18 seconds. It's not bad, but it stays up for 41 seconds. Because of the mods I've got, I actually am using the duration mod. Scan range makes a huge scan range. And then here, all I got's damage. I would like to find another one and see if I can't put something else in there, maybe skill haste or something like that. But I've yet to find anything. That is the scanner pulse. I am running the shield. I find that the shield does take damage for me. It actually is up to tier 2, so it actually is pretty good. It comes back every 18 seconds. Mods on it, holster regens, shield health, and then a damage bonus per enemy. So those are the skills. Onto the chart, you can see we got 50% crit chance, 95 damage. The only way that I could see that probably we could get this damage up any more, obviously I can by maxing that out. It's going to bring that damage up. I'm only going to get 2 more percent, so I might get close to 98, 97, but to get 100% is going to be tough on this build. Because you need the chance. I proc in the chance. I'm gonna say you need at least 50% to 55% chance and whatnot. But if you do that, you're gonna lose on the damage. So I think this is a good balance. 50%, 95 there on damage. You saw in the gameplay, it works out well. As far as armor goes, armor regen, we got 4,000 max health, health regen. So stats wise, this build looks very good. I like it. I've been playing it on Countdown. I will run this build through a raid, but right now it hits. Now, when you saw in the gameplay, I will say this. This build can do solo well, but if you're in a group with buffs, like if somebody is running a Coyote's mask, somebody's running a Scorpio or something, you're going to hit Mega. And I believe at one point I hit like 1.6, 1.7 mil a shot with the carbine. Okay, that's just insane. So, with that said, this is a very good build. I enjoy it. I like it. I hope you do. And thank you. Hit that subscribe, hit the like, and we'll do some more videos on builds and whatnot that I come up with, the expertise leveling and so forth. So stay tuned. We have some gameplay out there. Me farming yesterday.